Okay, Dave, thanks for joining us ahead of the weekend's game against the MK Dons. Just before we get a bit more into that, I just want to pose the question to you about your under-23 game. It was an interesting day, wasn't it? We spoke to you on the Tuesday. You sent them out. You were looking to see what developed. 4-5 in your favour. Interesting. What are your thoughts? What's the reaction?
We've been practicing basketball, I think. It's good that we score lots of goals. It's not good that we concede them. I wasn't at the game because I went to Shrewsbury, Newcastle, so I didn't see it. So I can't really comment. I've heard one or two good things, one or two not so good things. One or two things where the ref didn't cover himself in glory, apparently. I've no idea. Didn't see it. And all them culminated in a 4-5 victory. So it's good that the lads are playing the games. No injuries. Tom Lowry coming through 45 minutes, which is a real positive for us. So all in all, an entertaining afternoon.
Yeah, 48 hours on from Tom Lowry getting that 45 minutes. You obviously spoke to your medical staff and you spoke to the player as well. Is he okay? No reaction and can go a bit further now?
Yeah. He'll be. He joined in training, full training yesterday. It wasn't an easy day, and I haven't spoken to him this morning, but he was fine yesterday. So we'll keep ramping it up and keep pushing him. He's still, he's still a way off, but he's not far off at the same time. So it's a real positive step for us.
One more training session with your squad before you go into the action of your next challenge being the MK Dons. I would think that the one thing that you're trying to get into your players is to take a lot of confidence. I know that result went against you, but to take a lot of confidence out of the way you set up and the way you performed and how many chances you actually made.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot wrong. Sometimes you win games of football and you go, "Ooh, we got lucky and the performance wasn't there." And sometimes you lose and you go, "There's not a lot wrong." And Saturday was one of them games. If we stick his chances away, it's a whole different game. And it'll be nothing probably short of what we have deserved. But obviously we didn't, so we've got to keep working at that, keep plugging away. But I know if we perform like we did last Saturday for the remainder of the season, we're going to be fine. And we're going to win more games than we lose. And the message last Saturday, and it'll be the same tomorrow, we're improving every game. Our performances have got better every game. So we've got to make sure that continues tomorrow.
Do you do like special sort of training drills with your players ahead of the game today? Would you sort of think of doing some finishing skills and drills so you can get the confidence right up?
Yeah, that's an area we need to improve on. So that's what we've done. But that doesn't mean to say we haven't worked in other areas as well. It's not just you can't just be reactionary to what one game in isolation tells you. You've got to see a bit of a bigger picture, but that's one area that we do need to improve, and that's one area that we've been working on, yeah.
The one thing that I'm sure you're not being alarmed about is that they haven't scored any goals in the league, but you've scored 4 in the cup, so you know that there's goals in your team from all departments.
Yeah, I think anybody who went, saw the game last Saturday wouldn't have said that we were a team that was lacking goals. That's for sure. Yes, we haven't scored in 2 league games, and I'm not particularly worried because the amount of chances we created. We've got it. We can't carry on, obviously. But there's no pressure on the strikers or any of the players to score goals in that sense. We just know that someone's got to do it, and I'm sure that'll come.
I know it's all different, what's happening in the games at the moment, but do you read into anything that the MK Dons have not won away for 12 months?
No.
And it wouldn't make it don't make it any easier. No, I can understand why you're saying that. And it doesn't make it any easier for you with having no fans there. That could help if a team's a little bit nervous away from home, but it's all about on the day, isn't it?
Of course it is. I think the last time we come up against a team who hadn't won away from home, them buggers across the M6 come and beat us. So I'm not in any. I don't really pay attention to that. It is on the day, and it's certainly different now. There's no getting around that fact. It is different. So we've got to treat each game on its merits, irrespective of past performance. Really, I think if MK Dons come to us and said, "Oh, they haven't scored all season in the league," sounds like a catastrophic stat. I don't think it is. It's a point, yes, but them not winning away from home. It's a new season, a new dawn. They've had one game away from home this season, and they didn't do too bad either. So let's not. I think we were in a similar position not so long back. Our away form wasn't great 18 months ago. We conceded first. We were poor. There's all sorts that we can look back on and reflect on our own performances that might have indicated to the opposition a real positive for them. But in the end, you turn it around, and so we can't use that as any sort of guide really. Because if you did, then there's every chance it could come back to bite you.
If you take into consideration the Lincoln City game in the Cup and your 2 league games, you've actually played 3 League One clubs already in the opening few weeks of the season. Anything surprised you? Anything that you've spotted that has surprised you against the higher opposition that you're up against all season this time?
The better football games, that's for sure. Even though we haven't won, we've enjoyed it more because it's a better spectacle. Going to some place in League Two where they just shell it. It's not proper football. It's not reflective of progressive football for me. I think that's the biggest thing so far. The fact that they've been proper football games, proper tactical battles, proper technical battles, and yes, we will get teams that will shell it, and I'm sure, I'm sure we'll be fine with that because we were fine last year with that. So, but it don't half. You don't have to enjoy the games better when you're trying to see, some real good players from both teams on the pitch. That's what we want to pit ourselves against as players and managers. Trying to outfox and outwit the opposition who are good players.
Well, you're talking about football, and you see more football, more technical skills and more tactical skills that you're already in the opening few weeks. I would imagine that you're all geared up for that type of game against the MK Dons because over the years, even though Russell Martin's a new manager, he knows all about that football club. They've been very football orientated, and I don't think it's going to change. You'll know more about that than I will.
No, look, I think Russell's already put his philosophy in there and his own sprinkling on a club philosophy. And it will be a football game again tomorrow. There's no doubt about it. They're a good team, good possession-based team, similar to ourselves, different shape and different formation. But it should be a good game. It should be played in the right manner, and it's another one that we go, oh, this will be a good game to watch. With respect to the result, of course, we want to win, but we'll get to see a good game of football, and there's 2 good footballing teams.
Just a final update on the injured players. We spoke about Tom Lowry. How's Chris Porter gone since the injection, and Donovan Daniels? Are they getting closer now to being with you for selection?
Yeah, Porter's had his injection yesterday. I spoke to him this morning. It's sore. It will be sore. It'll be sore for however long, a week or so. And then we're hoping that'll then finally resolve that issue. Don trained fully yesterday. I think he trained fully Tuesday as well. So he's getting extremely close. And, we've like I said, the physio room is starting to abate ever so slightly because, at the start of the season we had 6, 7, 8. So, we're heading in the right direction with them all. Just
one final one on there. Daniel Powell would have loved to have been around and with it. Is he getting closer as well? Is he doing more training?
Yeah, he's got a bruised knee, and as with any of these kind of injuries, them contact injuries, they're there one day and gone the next. So he'll be close.